So, you decided to roll an Archer Warrior. Now, here's a caveat. I have played extensively with an Archer Warrior and an Archer Mage. Excuse me. I know with my ranking, I put Archer Mage below Archer Warrior. I have to renege on that. Archer Warrior is below Archer Mage. Now, the reason for that is because of overall damage mitigation and teleport, basically. With Archer Warrior, you get so much physical damage mitigation that it's kind of becomes a little bit ridiculous because the scale is so tipped with physical damage. There's no real balance there with magical damage, so you end up suffering the same plight that warriors, that a warrior or a warrior archer would suffer, being that you're really vulnerable to magic. So, Archer Warrior. Now, while this is not a bad class combination, it is really still on the shitty side. But you're getting up there to where you can actually have survivability and do damage and be able to farm and everything like that. And it also gives you different options. So, what do you do with an Archer Warrior? First, let's look at the Archer tree. Nothing is going to be really any different, except for what you're going to be focusing with your main attack. So, you're going to obviously fill out Strong Arrow and obviously fill out Piercing Shot for synergies. Throw 1 point in that shit right there because you got to have it. You're going to max out Empower. You're going to max out Frenzy. You're going to max out Dodge. And you're going to max out Corpse Explosion. What you come to, though, is the choice of making either multi-shoot or a Sonic Arrow build. Now, being that you are pretty damn squishy when it comes to magic users, you want to kind of try to keep them at a distance. So, I would personally say, as an Archer Warrior, go Sonic Arrow with a knockback. So, use a, it's the Archimedes earring, I believe. Let me find it. It's in here somewhere. There it is. So, for my Immortal Hedgehog build, which is the Sonic Arrow, I use this and it has knockback. So, you want to use the Archimedes earring. Now, this will keep all magic users who have like melee or the bastards that blow up or flamar. It'll keep them at a distance. And what's going to help you with other magic users who use projectiles is the handy little tools that we know as rotating shields. So projectile magic users, you have a good chance of either blocking it with rotating shields or dodging it with dodge. So you're pretty safe at a distance with Archer Warrior. You got a pretty good chance to survive. And of course, you're going to want to also max out Stone Skin. So the only things you really want in the Warrior tree would be, you got to do one in sweep and then fill out rotating shields, fill out Stone Skin, 1 in bash, and then you could put 1 in charge, or you can fill it out how you see fit. I mean, you're not really going to be using charge for anything except for travel. So, because it's way better than tumble. So, it differs from the Archer, meaning that you don't have to make infusions in order to get a travel. You can actually just use charge, and charge is a great travel or a great escape, however you want to call it. So, the main game with the Archer Warrior is keep away. That's why I say use Sonic Arrow, because it doesn't matter how far away you are, you're still going to be doing the same amount of damage. And you can just keep hitting them, and that's going to keep knocking them back. When you have an attack like multi-shoot, you have to get closer. And it's not going to do as much damage far away. And you would also have to put in a DS to really make it, DS is to really make it effective. So here is also the advantage of using Sonic Arrow. You can do bleed builds with Sonic Arrow and with knockback, just like I have with the Mortal Hedgehog, and this will work. This will give you the ability to not have to use up all your infusion slots with 3 infusion slots. That's half your infusion slots with DS. You could actually just get 2 chaos bands, and your bleed, your DPS is going to be there. And this will go the same. This will go perfectly with an Archer Mage. So the bleed Sonic Arrow build, it can be used interchangeably, pretty much. So the basic infusions are going to be, if you want to control mana, get a bone necklace. If you're going Sonic Arrow route, you want to look at using White Wing in some things, as well as if you're seasonal, use Certitude. And what's that other Archer one? Wolffang. If you are not seasonal, you can use Wolffang as an amulet or an infusion item. No, I'm sorry, not as an amulet, as an infusion item, because you want Archimedes' earring as an amulet. So Archimedes' earring and 2 chaos bands, and that's going to give you really good DPS. If you want more survivability, you can go with a Draculus, or you can go with a Vlad set. What you're going to run into is you're going to need speed, so you can either go with 2 pieces of the thief's suit, or whatever it is. I forget the thief set, but set bonuses aren't working right now, so keep that in mind. But you could do that, or infuse a Grace, or use a King's Obsession. There's a lot of different options you could use. So take out a Chaos Band, put it in a King's Obsession, so that would give you speed. Infuse Burden of the Damned in there. There's a few different things you can do with it, but your survivability and your options go through the roof when it comes to Archer Warrior and Archer Mage, as opposed to Archer. The problem, again, with this is your magic vulnerability. So the name of the game, keep away. For your weapon, the best case is going to either be using an Ivory Cannon if you're seasonal, or a White Wing. Well, no, a DS if you can find one, because I think DS has 300% increase. White Wing only has like 270 or 290, something like that. Regardless, DS is higher. And as the infusion on your weapon, I highly recommend infusing a Heaven Cleaver. This is going to increase your AoE damage. It's going to increase your basic damage from what you're getting when you're hitting groups. And with Sonic Arrow, you're going to be hitting groups all the time, just cutting through stuff, and that AoE is going to be multiplying over and over and over again. So I would definitely look at putting Heaven Cleaver into whichever weapon you choose. If you, I say DS, and I don't know, I think it's sometimes a waste to put one DS into a build, and as opposed to maybe putting in a White Wing, but it's just up to you. If you want to choose a White Wing for the for your weapon and infuse a Heaven Cleaver, do that. If you're going Sonic Arrow, if you want to choose an HSB and infuse a Heaven Cleaver, do that. Both great weapons, you know, HSB for multi-shoot, obviously, if you choose that route. If you are doing seasonal, Ivory Cannon. If you're doing Sonic Arrow infused with Heaven Cleaver is what I say, or 2 Ivory Cannons together. Either way. Now, if you're going to go crit, you're going to have to drop a lot of things and put in those 3 DSs. But if you're not, it's going to leave you room to put in your speed. It's going to leave you room to put in your guillotine if you want that. So going bleed with Sonic Arrow is going to give you great DPS. Add a knockback to it and add a Heaven Cleaver to it, and it's just, it becomes absurd. And so this is going to leave a lot of infusion slots that you can play around with. So this is where I would go with this character, with the Archer Warrior. Again, not the best choice, but I mean, not overall, not too shitty. It's kind of shitty, but yeah, it'll do. You can make it, and you can beat Crawl with this build. So just consider that you need to play the keep away game, and you need to learn to be able to get out of situations and stay away from any type of crowd.